Hi everyone, welcome. This is Gem314 Tarot. I hope I find you all well. Thank you for returning, and hello if you are new. Today we're doing the full moon in Pisces. It's not only is it a full moon, it is a full blue moon, super moon, a full blue super moon, and now it's moved into Pisces. So let's talk about this, Pisces. The moon is also conjunct to Saturn, and Saturn is a sign of like obstacles and testing and difficulty. Um, he's an aspect of death in the fact that he represents the Grim Reaper, and what the Grim Reaper does, we all know what the Grim Reaper does. He comes and takes the dead. So there is something here, especially in the psyche, in the dream state, in the intuition, in the deep emotional waters that are Pisces, that is having to come to an end. There is some kind of cycle closing here, and it may be a difficult one to process. It's interesting because when I was dealing the cards here, we did get a card for obstacles. And that definitely is that Saturnian energy, and it's conjunct the moon right now. So there's something that needs to come to an end. Maybe you feel that something is finished. There's something emotional that is you're facing that feels very final. And it's very hard to process. That is now square to Jupiter and Mars in Gemini. Now, usually that would be very positive. I know Mars is quite volatile. It's passionate, it's powerful, it's very in your face. Especially being in Gemini, this might be energy of people really making their opinions heard. I feel like this is people getting in your face, people really overemphasizing how they think about something, but it is tempered a little bit with Jupiter energy here. Jupiter is very I like to say jovial, which is very fitting because Jupiter in Roman is Jove, and he's very happy and happy-go-lucky. He loves laughing. He loves to party. He loves a good time. He doesn't like conflict. He's beneficent in that he loves to give his good graces and favors to people. He's Jupiter. He's Zeus. And Zeus, you know, he likes to eschew, what's the word, he likes to throw off responsibility. Okay, so with Mars here, this may be like loose lips, hurting feelings, but in the positive, it's really expressive, and like right now I'm stuttering, well, that could be the Mercury retrograde in Leo. um Usually, I would think that Jupiter and Mars in Gemini is very fast, fast sharing of ideas and information. Okay, this is bouncing ideas off of people. This is trying to cooperate with people about communication. But I always forget that Gemini sometimes can be a kind of a selfish energy. It is the second to youngest, it's third youngest sign, so it's like toddler, elementary school kind of mentality here. Gemini is the first instance of self expression. So a lot of times it's just talking to hear itself talk. Okay. Now, this outward communication and arguing is in a square to the deep emotional work that is being done in Pisces. So there could be There could be arguments back and forth, and but especially with Mercury retrograde, not everybody is getting to express how they feel, what they need, what they think, where they stand. That's standing out to me, where they stand, because we have the in one of the groupings here, we have the Seven of Wands reversed, which is usually in the upright, it means you have the high ground and you're defending yourself successfully. But in the reverse, it's very shaky ground. People feel like they're being unfooted. I don't know if that makes sense. You know, when you lose your footing, this is a sense of being criticized and feeling overwhelmed or inadequate. Okay. So let's get down into the tarot. Uh, Remember, please, that not all messages will resonate for every person. So leave what doesn't resonate now, but keep it in mind because it might make sense at a later time. You're all at different points in your timelines. And like I say, I can read the script, but I cannot tell you individually what characters you play in it or where you stand in your on the stage. Okay, only you can put yourself where you resonate. I can tell you what the energies in the moment are saying. So in the first grouping from the first light tarot, we have a card designating obstacles. This is I forgot to mention, this is a seen and unseen reading. In the seen energy, we have obstacles. And the first card for the Lenormand to drop for you, Pisces, were the owls. Owls came out yesterday for the pick card, and it has to do with inner messages, from the inner self. Owls represent bringing messages from the subconscious up into the light, into the consciousness, okay? Um, this is moon energy again. The moon is in you, so let's deal with it. I actually don't function very well when the moon is in Pisces because my feelings of my feelings of sadness and defeat are for the whole collective, whereas when it's in Cancer, my feelings of self-defeat and sadness are for myself. But now with it in Pisces, there's sometimes a feeling of just general sadness, about things in the world, maybe things far away that we can control. We see people suffering, we hear suffering, we empathize with that suffering, and it makes us turn inward and analyze how we feel about that in ourselves. So with the owls here, this is messages coming from the subconscious to the conscious that we need to deal with, okay? um Sometimes I struggle because you've got another. There were only two bird cards in the Lenormand, and you got both, and they're both meaning messages. Okay, and they both have three birds on them. Oh wait, well there's the stork too, but that's not necessarily messages. With the owls, this is deep perception. Okay, this is keen observation, sensitivity, and messages from the higher self. Notice it's under the moon. Moon energy is dealing with things in the shadow. And what is the shadow? It's the lack of the light of the sun. And the sun is the ego. So when the sun is gone and we erase the ego, then we're left with the things in the self and the things that we hide within ourselves. This is very Piscean energy. Um, I was trying to contemplate how I could describe the difference in Pisces emotional energy versus Cancer emotional energy or Scorpio emotional energy. Pisces are often described as being deep feelers, okay? And that's twofold, they were telling me. It's not just that the feelings are intense and profound. Profound is another way of saying deep. But you keep that all down, okay? You keep it all from the surface. It doesn't always show on your face what you're feeling. I find that more with the feminine Pisceans. Masculine Pisces, your eyes give you away, okay? I have I have had many Pisces men in my life. And their eyes always give them away. They are deep pools. Do not go too far in them. You will get lost. That's one of my weaknesses for those Pisces men is staring at their eyes. Pisces women, your face, you're a little more stoic about what you feel. You keep it deep away from the surface because it is very vulnerable down there. It is very sometimes can be volatile down there. I like to describe Pisces energy as the deep, deep ocean, where there are creatures there that don't always come to the surface. We have to send down probes to go look at those things. The pressure down there is crushing, and when you go down there and you're not acclimated to that kind of depth and profound emotion, you can get lost down there. It can feel overwhelming. There's a term called thalassophobia, which is a fear of the deep open water. And I'm imagining pictures of deep divers, and they pan around to look at them, and it's just the void. They are alone in space, but in the water, right? That's terrifying. But there are creatures down there that have evolved to exist down there, and that's their natural state. For you, Pisces, those deep emotions that can crush other people are absolutely your natural state. Now you have the moon in you and taskmaster Saturn, and it's bringing to the surface. They're showing me how when like a earthquake happens deep underneath the ocean, or a hurricane comes through, those waters get churned up. There's chaos down there. There's upheaval. There's destruction. And sometimes those deep sea creatures will die and come to the surface. That's the only time many of us get to see what lives down there, is when it comes to the surface. But in order for them to come to the surface, there needs to be an upheaval. That is what Saturn is doing right now in Pisces. With the moon there, it's almost double this emotional feeling. The moon is our cycles, our rhythms. Um, it rules Cancer. Cancer to me rules the tide pools. This is anything that comes to life when the moon is shining, or when the moon drags the tide. When the moon is full and the tide comes in or goes out, those creatures in the tide pools come to life. Those little anemones and the little crabs come out, and things that when the tide is out and the moon is gone, all of that calms down. Those are the kinds of cycles that Cancer rules. Those emotional things that come and go, that are irritated or agitated, that come to life and then are at rest. Okay? So there is deep work being done here in those emotional waters. So for obstacles, you've got the owls, which is those messages coming up from the deep up into the surface. Now in from the subconscious, the uh, they want to say illusion, but it's not. It's not that they're fake. It's not like a fake illusion. The illusion here is that in the daylight that they don't exist. When the ego shines, that those things don't exist. That's the illusion. When our outer lives, our outer selves, the smile we put on before we have to walk in a room, that's sun energy. That's the face. That's the front. That's the mask. And that is what people see as the truth, because that's what we allow in the light. But under the light, under the ego, under the sun, in the illusion of the nighttime, it's a whole different scene down there. Both are the truth, but we deal with them at different times. Next to the owls, you dropped the world. So let's explore that. On obstacles, you've got messages from the subconscious and the world. The world is the end. Okay, so that's why I was saying there may be something there may be some cycle that's coming to an end that's putting you in your feels. It's putting you through the ringer. Saturn is the taskmaster. It's going to make you, I even think it's a retrograde. Let me check real quick if it's retrograde right now, because there's a lot going on up there where there's retrogrades all over. Is Saturn retrograde? It is. It is retrograde in Pisces. So, um, this is a harsh review. If you think of Saturn as like a teacher, this is the review before the midterm, and it's dragging up all the things and putting it on the table for you to study again, things that maybe in the practice test you flunked. So this is things that you just really, really wished and hoped were done, but they're not. The aspect of death, I totally glossed over that on my channeling. I'm sorry, let me go back to that. Saturn as the Grim Reaper will come through with his scythe and cut away everything that is spent. Okay? The energy had been put into it, it grew, you got out of it, all that you're gonna get out of it, and that time is done now. So Saturn will come through and take away things that are dead. Um, the other aspect of death that goes hand in hand with that is Pluto, which represents Hades, that rules Scorpio the Transformer. Hades rules the underworld. He does not collect the dead, he rules the place they go after they're harvested, okay? Pluto right now, I believe, is, let me check. Pluto is in, where is it? Oh, Capricorn. Aquarius. Pluto is retrograding through Aquarius. So um that's our connection to people in large groups. Okay. So what's going on here is there isn't the ending. Now, the world is, if the world came out reversed, then I would say that this is something that's going to hurt. But it's upright, which means the rewards are here. I can't show the card because in the Rider-Waite she's got her titties out, and YouTube would flag me for indecency if I showed artistic titties. So let's just say that the goddess on the world card is the Greek goddess Nike, who is the goddess of victory. Victory after conflict, after contest, a victory after hard cycles, after work. This is the ending of it all. And now karma, well, I mean, that plays in too. There's karma here, but it's your good karma. So there's good karma and bad karma, right? So the world represents the good karma because it's reward for your hard work. And hard work is definitely a Saturnian energy. So the obstacle here is, I heard, perceiving your reward after a tough cycle. I know that took a while to get there, but they like me to explain a little bit of the symbolism of what we're dealing with. The astrology, the cards, how the symbols work together in the subconscious and the psyche and the collective unconscious, they call it. So the owls here are bringing messages from the inner self, and the world is here telling you to collect your reward. There is a wonderful emotional reward coming in, but why isn't it an obstacle? Maybe because it's been a very difficult cycle, a very difficult lesson. It's something that still has us feeling raw and vulnerable. I also feel that there is an energy here of, we explored this in one of my other readings. There's something here about, oh, and then there was healing here too. There's some here in the collective that are hanging on to a painful cycle because the pain is all they have left. Okay? And I can relate to that. There was something that I had to let go of. And the person that I had to let go of was extremely important to me. There was deep emotion there for that person. And that cycle was done and over. It was dead and gone. And that person was out of my life. But I couldn't let it go. I couldn't let them go. I couldn't let the idea of perhaps it could continue. Perhaps they would come back. Perhaps this could start again. And it was so painful. It was like holding the knife in my own heart, right? Holding the knife in your own chest and refusing to let it out. And sometimes that pain is the last connection we have to something that was very deeply part of ourselves. And when that's all you can feel for that person, sometimes we don't want to let that go. And once you work through that, you kind of realize that if it's the pain you wanted to hang on to, then definitely go through the healing process, because sometimes the healing hurts even worse. Okay? I don't know why they're making me channel this. This was from a long, long time ago, but somebody in the collective needs to hear that. You have to heal. And we've got 2 cards here in the anchor position with the fairies that they're calling for healing. Okay? So there's something, the obstacle here is collecting this reward after after delving into this deep emotional pain. The reward is your healing, but sometimes the healing hurts more than the injury. I don't know why that is. And I don't even know if that'll make sense to anybody, but that's what I found from my experience. A lot of times I don't like to be forthcoming about some personal things that I've experienced because I feel like who's going to give a shit? Everybody's different. But whenever I get in that mood, Spirit tells me, do you really think you're the only one who has felt this way? And maybe somebody out there who felt this way doesn't know how to express it. And when you express it and shed light on it and acknowledge it, then the healing can begin. Let's go on to the next grouping. A card fell from the First Light Tarot designating for the future. And the future Lenormand card you got here is the Shedding Snake. This is a wonderful progression from the first obstacle of not being able to let that cycle go. This is also feminine moon energy. We've got 2 cards here dealing with the moon so far. And like I said, the moon here is in Pisces right now. The shedding snake is feminine energy. It's going through cycles. It's going through growth. It's growth and shedding of the old. The reason that it's feminine energy is because that's what the female body goes through every month. It grows in preparation of something. If it doesn't come to fruition, it has to expel that old, what do you want? Condition? Condition? Is that what you want me to say? If it remains, it will rot inside of you. So there's something inside of you that you need to allow yourself to release, because the more it festers, the more it will infect everything else. That's why Saturn, as the Grim Reaper, has to take the old away, because if it's left in the field, it'll rot and it'll taint everything else in the field. You cannot plant new growth in something that is dead. Okay? You have to clear that away so that the new life can come up from underneath. But have you ever left a pile of leaves on a patch of grass? The sun can't get down in it, and it all decays down at the bottom. So then when you rake away that dead pile of leaves, you have this big barren spot in your grass because nothing could grow there. So the shedding snake is a very powerful energy. This is transformation. It is renewal, feminine cycles, releasing what is outgrown, purification, rebirth, and restoration. Now, there's a very strong feeling of being vulnerable here. Because when a snake sheds its skin right after its molt, it's blind, it hasn't eaten, and its senses are a little bit dulled. It can't perceive, oh, its threats around it. So it is in a very precarious moment. And I believe that's how you're feeling right now in this shedding cycle. If you let this go, or if you go through this transformation, there's going to be a time period where you need to rest. You're going to feel vulnerable. You're going to feel very raw. You're going to feel overwhelmed. Oh, overwhelmed. That's interesting. The card you dropped along with this is the Seven of Wands reversed. Now, upright, the Seven of Wands is you on the high ground defending yourself successfully after the Six of Wands victory. Okay? Remember, you had the World here, which is victory that you are due. Here you're defending yourself after your victory, but now you're here in reverse. This means that you feel like you're on shaky ground. You're facing criticism, overwhelm, and feelings of inadequacy. And that's coming in after you shed this old cycle. So they're showing me somebody who it's really kind of a simple image they're showing me. They're showing me somebody who goes outside in a cold day and they take off their coat. And after they take off that quote unquote outer skin, you're vulnerable to the elements. You're vulnerable to the cold, to the wind, to the rain without that covering. But there's going to be in the future that covering will grow back, right? You're going to be able to reclaim your protection, but you have to go through this very painful shedding right now. And well, in the future, this is for the future position. Hold on, they want me to back up. There are others in the collective that need a different message. The process is still going to be painful, but they want me to read this like a sentence here. With the owls, with this knowledge from your higher self, you are going to bring about an ending of something that was painful, okay? That's the world card. You're going to bring about an ending to something, or you're going to come into an energy of acceptance and processing, because those messages from the inner higher self are going to be information, downloads, inspiration, how to see things from a different perspective, how to process things away, how to accept some kind of truth. Those are the messages that come in from the higher self. Everybody says, oh, it's messages from the higher self. Yeah, okay, what are the messages? They will be different for everybody, but this is going to be some kind of insight, some kind of emotional acceptance, right? In order to process the world card, which is an end. And it's going to be good because the world brings you reward. After the world, at the ending, like the world is the last card. That's it. That's the last card. And then we cycle around again to the Fool, where a new cycle begins. Right? I am right about that, right? 21, the world, dun dun, thing, the end. So then after that, in the future, you've got the shedding snake, which is you are throwing off that old cycle. You came through it and you had your reward. Right after that, that's the Seven of Wands reversed, where now you're in a position where you have to defend yourself because you're feeling vulnerable. Okay, you got your reward, but there may be some in your energy who think you don't deserve it, or think that you got it for ill-gotten means, like you betrayed somebody to do it. I'm not sure. I do hear that this the ending of this cycle brings these rewards, and it's going to transform you. That's what they wanted me to say. It's going to transform you. You're going to be in a new form. You're going to be a little bit bigger. The snake will have a few more rows of scales because it had to grow, and it just burst out of its old skin, because that skin doesn't grow along with you. It just constricts you. They also want me to remind you that If a piece stays on the snake, it could constrict that part of the tail and it could die, you know? So you have to make sure it's all gone. And then again, like I said, this is a very vulnerable time. So that's why you're in the Seven of Wands energy. You're feeling criticized, you're feeling inadequate, and you're feeling overwhelmed. In the unseen energy, from the First Light Tarot, you dropped a card of karma. And I mentioned it earlier when we were talking about the World card right above it, because it is bringing around what is due to you after a cycle. Now, the World card suggests reward after victory, but it really is a karmic card of you getting what you put into the, you know, I don't know why they showed me popcorn for some reason. I don't know if someone's eating popcorn. I don't know why they showed me that. But here we've got the karma card, and it says this is baggage from a past life or cycle. These are you've got to learn the lessons. Oh yeah, that's very Capricorn energy, and Saturn is retrograding through you right now. So this is lessons from before. Remember I was talking about, and correcting your wrongs. It's like reviewing a practice test where you go through and you mark off the questions you got wrong, and then you go to the reference book and you see where you went wrong. That's correcting your mistakes, and that's part of the learning process, right? This also designates domino effects, and I'm trying to figure out what they mean by that. It could be that what you did in that past cycle is going to have repercussions. So make sure that your conduct is of your highest good and for the highest good of those that you're interacting with, because you don't want to reap that negative karma. On top of that, you've got another bird card. You've got the songbirds. So whereas the owls bring in very deep meaningful, well, I mean both are meaningful, but it feels like one is very serious, those kind of messages with the owls, and the songbirds come out with very light-hearted, uplifting messages. Do I have to sing it? Rise up this morning, smile at the rising sun. Three little birds perched on my doorstep, singing sweet songs of a melody pure and true. And they're saying, this is our message to you. Oh, go on. Don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. So, like I said, here in the scene energy, there is deep fear, there's worry, there's feelings of vulnerability, there's dealing with deep things that may get us criticized, there's an ending of a cycle that we maybe didn't feel prepared for. But now here in the karma card with the domino effects, you've got the brightness of the morning. Right after the darkness of the owls, you've got the brightness of the morning, and the morning birds are bringing in the messages from spirit. These are communications, excited talking, chatting and communication. There's negotiations here too, and information exchange. This is any kind of messages like phone calls, gossip, news, or the friend group. Okay. I heard reconnecting. Whereas the owls are bringing messages from your inner higher self, the songbirds bring messages from other people. Okay. So this is coming in on the karma card, lessons learned, past life baggage, past cycle baggage, and then on top of that with the Rider-Waite, you got the Five of Pentacles in reverse. Thank goodness. What did I say about this being the ending of a tough cycle? This Five of Pentacles is lack and want and despair and a feeling of so there was something shed, right? Something was lost. This could be, I thought it was just emotional, but this could be physical too. Pentacles are material, wealth, and provisions. So this could, what did I say was in Capricorn? Pluto? No, Pluto's in Aquarius, but Saturn does rule Capricorn, and Capricorn has to do with work ethic and wealth and career and money and home stability, things like that, legacy, reputation, those things. The Five of Pentacles is the lack of all of that. They're out in the cold. It's freezing. It's dark. They're in scrubby clothes, bad shoes. There's something where they are brought back down to minimum. It was like a reboot, like they lost everything and they're in rags. This could be figurative with emotional things. Now it's in reverse. So songbirds coming in, messages from other people. This is past life karma, lessons learned. I feel like this is just good karma coming around in the form of help from friends, communication from friends. This could be, hey, I saw what you were going through. Can I help? Something like that. Something that uplifts you. Something that gives you a little bit of hope. The key with the Five of Pentacles is that they're outside of their salvation. In this case, it's in the form of a church. The church is lit, it's open, the light is on, there's people in there, there is help available, but they walked right past it. This in reverse means maybe you're coming back around to something that you walked past last time, or you didn't see when you were going through it, and you're going back because you get this information about something that might now be available to help you. I like that it's in reverse. It means that help is on the way, help is available. It's not, now you can see it. Now you can, it's available to you. You can attain it. That's really good. The last card we have in the unseen is a question card. Why is this happening? Okay. We got on top of that the cat card. I think it came out a couple readings ago, but this is someone who likes companionship and freedom. It's curious and cautious. This could be somebody coming into your energy, or this could be energy that you're coming into. You want companionship, but you want your freedom, right? You want people in your corner to support you, but you don't want to have to be beholden to them. Curiosity and caution, like I said. So you're like, I think I can maybe I don't get that this is love or anything because we don't have any cups, but this could be a collaboration with somebody and you're cautious about it because maybe they're a little too independent for you. Maybe you want to be in your independent energy. It's like, I want the help, but I don't want to be dependent on them. That's what this feels like. Independence and cooperation. This is someone who is intelligent and shrewd, wise and observant, careful, perceptive, aware, helpful, and affectionate. Cat energy. Cat energy. So you maybe want to be in this kind of independent, very, I can take care of myself. If you want to be in my energy, you're very welcome to be. I vibe with you, you vibe with me, but stay over, give me my room. This may be remnants of the shedding snake energy where you feel a little bit vulnerable. You don't want people to get too close, but you do enjoy, and you do, what do they want me to say? You accept and you recognize that you need that surrounding support system, but you still want to feel like you're independent. You know what I mean? It's like walking that fine line. On top of that, you've got the Eight of Swords. Very mental energy, very in your head. The problem here is these thoughts that are coming around in your head, there's doubts and fears and anxieties, there's negative self-talk, there's conflict, inner conflict, there's questioning yourself, there's doubting yourself. That also came in the Seven of Wands reversed. There's feelings of inadequacy here. The thing about the Eight of Swords is that you have to decide which of these swords are true and which are false. Swords always deal with the sword of truth. What is the truth? Right now, you're bound up in all these different ideas, but you can't figure out what's the truth. Okay? All these feelings of you want to feel independent, you want to feel confident, capable. You know what I mean? That all that good cat energy, curious, but you're a little too cautious. You want companionship, but you don't want people to touch you. You know what I mean? It's like, why is this happening? Because you're conflicted. Now, much of this cycle that had to end was emotional, but the swords are mental. That could be that Gemini energy. Remember, we were talking about the moon and Saturn in your sign are in square to square? Yeah, not opposition. They're square to um, Jupiter and Mars in Gemini. And that could be that mental conflict that's there. Remember, I said you don't know what's true and what's false, what's good and what's detrimental. The good would be represented by Jupiter energy, and the detrimental might be represented by the Mars energy, both in Gemini, air signs ruled by the swords. So those are the conflicting energies here. Jupiter wants you to feel that confidence. Jupiter wants you to feel good about yourself. He wants you to feel proud. They describe Jupiter the planet as a secondary sun almost, because its energy is so powerful. So this is like, it wants you to feel that pride. It wants you to feel happy. It wants you to feel that you are worth something. Jupiter is very big ego, right? But then you got Mars in Gemini also. And Mars is conflict and passion and volatility. It can be it can be very what is it when you contend with people, you fighting and arguments and things like that. So with this being mental, she's got her blindfold and her hands are bound. This is all in your mind. This is the good and the negative fighting within you. That's why this is happening, because you're fighting against something that is trying to give you a good reward. Jupiter is trying to give you the confidence, and he also rules luck. Jupiter is the ruler of Sagittarius, and I have never met luckier people than Sagittarians. I had a Sagittarius in my life that could find shit on the ground, money, jewelry, um, weed scores. I mean, this shit would just fall at his feet because luck favored him so much. And when we are blind to that, we don't see that luck coming in. Jupiter wants to bless you, but there may be feelings here that you don't deserve it, or that you're too blocked to see it, or that you're in too much pain to think that it's possible. That's the conflict here. So then I went and I asked the fairies to kind of give us a little more insight on this, okay? The Lenormand and the Rider-Waite give us a look into the 3D energy. That's the material world, the world around us, the people we interact with, the feelings that we're feeling, the jobs we're doing, the pets and everything. They're very 3D. When we go to the fairies, we go up a vibration in the 4D, and that is more of a bridge between us and the divine. So let's see what the fairies are talking about in the 4D while the moon and Saturn are in Pisces right now. Here we dropped Tobira of the waters, again with the very moon healing energy. So they are reiterating the fact that this can all be rectified if we pay attention to what we need to heal inside. This is soul healing. This is accepting change. This is important choices of a feeling of serenity and a change of emotions. Can I show? Nope, I can't show this card either because there's boobies. So I'm going to show it a little bit further away. See how she's lit up with moon energy? That's where your healing is going to come in. You have to go deep inside underneath the ego and you will find what heals you. And they're telling me the very thing that is killing you is the thing that's going to heal you. And that is one of the most difficult lessons that most of us have to walk through in this life. The next we dropped Penelope Dreamweaver. I'm glad to see her. I haven't seen her in a long time. This is inspiration, magic, dreams, visions, and magical alchemy. Magical alchemy. This is like the Temperance card. Physical alchemy is the magician. I'm getting goosebumps. I don't know if that's a sync or a sign for anybody. Goosebumps. I'm getting goose flesh. The magician is physical manifestation. But this is magical alchemy. This is ethereal. This is ephemeral. This is emotional. This is working with, I heard plasma, but spiritual plasma, if that makes any sense. There's physical energy in the physical world, and then there's spiritual energy. That's when I was trying to think of spiritual energy, that's when they said like plasma. Okay, this is using this for the healing. I love that. This is a second card that mentions music too. Oh no, the muse. Oh, the muse is your inspiration for doing something. I only know only one muse is coming to mind, and that's Calliope, and I'm not quite sure. Is she of the arts, performing or something like that? I'm not sure. I don't know why they had me think of that. But this is in the dream state, Pisces, with the moon in you, the dream state. You must pay attention. You have to allow yourself to go in those waters. And like I was saying in the beginning, you live down there. Pay attention to the creatures that you encounter down there. And symbolically, that means pay attention to the symbolism that you're receiving in your dreams. At this time, with the moon in you, your dreams are going to be off the chain. Okay, but with Gemini, with Mars and Gemini, they could be kind of volatile. They could be very active. You might feel like you're not getting a lot of rest while you're sleeping. I've been through that too, where your dreams are just so active, you wake up still tired. There might be something like that going on there, but please make sure you pay attention to your dreams. There was an example I gave a couple of readings ago where we dropped the High Priestess card, and then with the theme deck, we dropped female family member. That together was telling me that there was someone on the other side who had gone behind the curtain that the High Priestess protects in the inner sanctum in the Akashic record and gained some kind of knowledge. And in order to get it to you, she was running towards you in your dream, and she handed you a book. And she's like, here's the answer. The answer's in here. And then you woke up. It's something to that effect. You have to make sure you pay attention to what they're trying to tell you in your dreams, okay? Pisces, that's specific for you. The last fairy card we've got the Piper. Now that usually is something that's going to distract you or lead you away from something else. It can be negative, it can be positive. This is, how do I read this? Oh my goodness. Gentle persuasion, music, harmony, and empathy. Listen to the unspoken. See, what did I say? Listen to the unspoken. the nonverbal communication. That is something that I feel is very Piscean. Remember I said that you are very emotional, but you keep it deep? you, you don't show it on the surface, but I feel like a lot of you really do read more in people than they think they show, because you have access to that deep inner knowing. Okay, the piper is going to lead you in the right direction, and you're going to feel very harmonized when you allow him to do so. um Oh, I heard you're going to come into harmony with yourself, because you've got Tabira of the healing waters, and then Penelope Dreamweaver. She takes those waters like Temperance does with his cups going back and forth. The alchemist, he's mixing the ingredients for your perfect healing. So somebody might need a little bit more love and a little bit less financial healing. Okay, that's one potion. But somebody else might need emotional healing, financial healing, and just kindness. Okay, well, that's another ingredient. That's what temperance does. He mixes the waters of source back and forth to get the perfect combination for you. Now, Tabira looks like she's pulling up the waters with her hands, and Penelope Dreamweaver, the magical alchemist, is taking those waters and finding the perfect combination for you. The piper here is the harmonizer. I just heard harmonics. Okay, so they want me, they're showing me somebody, like, look, the piper has the panpipes. This is music, harmony, tones, sound, vibration, things like that. They're showing me somebody putting a tuning fork inside water, and it changes the vibration of the water. These two cards are dealing with the healing waters of source. This card is talking about a harmonizing of those waters. This is very deep symbolism for you, Pisces. I hope this is resonating. I hope that the messages are finding you for your highest good. If you're vibing with my content, please take a moment, leave a like, leave a comment, share, subscribe. Any interaction helps the algorithm get my content seen. I am trying to do this as my career. In the description, you'll find links to my email. Connect with me. I'm now open for personal readings. We can do a video chat reading like with Facebook Messenger. We can do it by email, or I can do a video just like this and post it as a private link that you will only you will receive. Um, I can also do birth chart inquiries. My first discipline is astrology. I took up tarot afterwards, but I do astrology. I can do a birth chart inquiry. It's not going to be a full report. Full reports get into the dozens of pages, and then just that would be too time consuming and expensive. So I can do a 1 or 2 question birth chart inquiry. Either of those 4 services are the same at $40. Also in the description, you'll find links to my Venmo and my Cash App. That's how you can pay me. Then give me a heads up about your what reading you want. Also, if you vibe with any of my messages, just drop me a tip. If you got one good message out of the reading, drop me $1. If you got more, buy me a coffee. Help me keep the lights on, literally. So we're going to go now to the Ancestor Oracle cards. Okay? And we dropped 2. First, you got the White Witch, again with the owl imagery. So that might be a synchronicity for you. That might be part of your spirit animal team. We also have cat and songbirds here. We also have snake. So you might want to look up the symbolism of all those things. We've got, I think that's a barn owl. Look at 4 barn owls in the reading. Look at that. I'm going to hold that like in case I want to screen cap that. 4 owls. Okay? So we've got owl, snake, songbird, and cat if you would like to look up those symbols. Oh, we also have Luna Moth. She has a moth in her hair. I love moths. Moth might be one of your spirit animals. I was lucky to inherit, not inherit. But Moth gifted me with being in my energy now as a new spirit guide for this portion of the cycle, and I love it very, very much. So, White Witch, it says, be the light. It says, take the higher road and choose the light. Remove yourself from lower energy experiences. No matter what is happening to you or around you, you have a choice. Choose not to be pulled into drama, bickering, or energies that are going to limit your joy. Okay. If you're surrounded by people who are hostile towards you, or someone else, or you are in a negative situation, perhaps in your workplace, you're being invited to be the light. You are an incredible person who can really bring light. So, how can you change the energy? How can you redirect conversation to love? How can you protect yourself? How can you help the person that is being picked on, or are you the one who is guilty of causing the drama? You will know the answers. Know also that you are being encouraged to shine the light you were born to shine. I'm sorry my reading is so stuttered because the lighting is dark and these words are really, really tiny. There's also an energy here with the White Witch of listening to the inner self. I heard listening to your inner self will help empower you in the physical, okay? You also got Mirror Guardian, and that just screamed at me reflect. And that is very Pisces energy, especially with the moon here. You're doing nothing but reflecting. I used to describe the moon as a mirror. It reflects what we keep hidden. Um, so it's like the sun radiates, but the mirror reflects, the moon reflects. So this is time to reflect. This is take some time to reflect on your strength and challenges and how far you've come. Recognize your gifts. Okay. Oh, that's something that I didn't think of. The rewards that are coming at the end of the cycle. It's gonna be like heightened intuitive gifts. Heightened knowledge is a gift. So it's not just like reward, like, I mean, that's kind of like an umbrella term for what you would receive. It's gifts. All right. Recognize your gifts. You might be getting new ones. It says you are a beautiful being who has surmounted so many challenges and expanded in so many ways. Your angels are now guiding you to take inventory of your life, to take the time to note all of your recent experiences, the challenges you have surmounted, the strengths you have developed, and the lessons you have learned. Your angels want you to reflect on your strengths, in particular those aspects of yourself that you feel have not been acknowledged by others. Offer yourself approval where it's due, and know that when you give yourself credit, others will be able to as well. What was I saying about the Five of Pentacles reversed? There's somebody coming in who wants to give you something, right? But the cat energy wants you to feel independent, and it's putting you in your head about it, right? Give yourself credit, and others will be able to as well. I heard "Free Your Minds." Oh, what was that song? En Vogue from the 90s? Free your minds, and the rest will follow. Oh, that was high notes. So we're gonna finish up with my theme deck, and we're gonna get some extended messages for you. If you would like to see what the cards look like I know some readers, they have an overhead shot of their table. I don't have the ability to do that. However, I do post an overhead shot on my Instagram. So if you'd like to go over to Instagram, it's Gem314 Tarot, and you can see what the cards look like from up above. You can even follow along with how they're laid out, and you can see the symbols that I'm talking about as we go. Okay, so here we've got the theme deck. Let's get some messages, final messages for Pisces with the moon and Saturn in them, full super blue moon in Pisces. The blue moon just means it's the second moon in a month, okay? The second full moon in a month. Now, some of these cards might have um, lighthearted messages. And after, whew, Pisces energy is very deep and profound, and it can get kind of serious down there. So here we might get some lighthearted messages. Like I have a card in there that just says, eat a taco. Okay? Let's see, some lighthearted, some extended extra messages. Wrap this up for Pisces going through it with the full moon and Saturn in them right now. Let's give some messages to Pisces, please. Spirit, final messages for the Pisces collective. Thank you. Oh, something did not see coming. Interesting. That's the Uno reverse card. Oh, you're giving too many fucks. What did I say? Eat a taco. There it is. What did I say about lighthearted messages? And just a couple more. Okay, thank you. Okay, that's enough of the humor. Let me see. Do I want to get rid of some of these? Mountain, you are spirit. No, actually, I want a couple more. So here we got plot twist. There's a plot twist here. Oh, snap. You did not see this coming. I feel like that's the person coming in who wants to help. This message from the songbird, because it isn't the hidden energy here on the bottom. It's not in the seen energy yet. So you may not feel this coming. This could still be percolating. Okay, it is after the future. My future, it's about 3 months out, maybe, if that. So this could be in the works that you don't see coming. This person coming, the songbird with the message that's going to lift you out of that Five of Pentacles. So the plot twist, you did not see that coming. Oh snap. Okay. We've also got the Mountain card where a major challenge is being overcome. That's definitely here in obstacles. Then you've got the oyster. I love the oyster. See how big it is? It took a long time to grow that big. And that's because this is a card of divine timing. A gift from the divine. A gift! That's what the witch was talking about, right? Or the mirror guardian? Somebody was talking about your inner gifts. A gift from the divine is being prepared for you, but in the divine's timing. That's the kicker right there. Like sometimes you're like, I don't have the fucking time that you think I have. It's hectic down here, It says here, remember you are spirit. Connect, listen, know, ascend, and be still. Okay? Then we have the cute ones, eat a taco. What was I talking about? Sometimes, what is it now coming out with social media? When we're really sad or we're depressed, sometimes the thing that lifts us up the most is just a plate of fucking tacos from a taco truck on the street. Those are the best things. It's like soul healing, right? Or some people might like pizza or chicken nuggets. I love chicken nuggets. I love tacos too. So, look, she's winking. It's like, be kind to yourself. Get a taco. You also have the finger. Pisces, please, especially you. You might not show it on the surface, but a lot of times you give way too much. You care too much. In other words, you give too many fucks. Okay? Just don't give any. Hint, give none. Or less, whatever. You have here's another funny one. It's just sometimes it be like that. It's like you're telling people, hey, I've got no explanation. I owe you no explanation for my conduct. Sometimes it just be like that. So you got remember your spirit. And then you've got Mars here in play, like I said, power, action, competition. Oh, competition. That's that Seven of Wands in reverse. Passion, aggression, drive, and ambition. It can also be tempers. That's the thing. When Mars is in Gemini, tempers flare. And that's an exact square to the moon in you. It's like this mind over heart kind of conflict here. Okay? I'm going to get one more. I want an even number. So let's just get one more for Pisces, please. Thank you. Last one, dun 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 dun, 222. The angel number 222. Keep the faith. Timely and auspicious opportunities are coming. Stand strong in your personal truths. So that's what I have for you, Pisces. Thank you so much for sticking with me. This is for the moon and Saturn in your sign tonight. Happy super blood full moon in Pisces. Eat a taco, put your blanket on, um, dream journal, listen to some music, meditate. Ooh, that was they were talking about the tones with the harmony here, harmonizing the waters of healing. They want me to mention solfeggio and binaural beats. Okay, there are some that are just tones. They're not like music, piano music or anything. They're just vibration, and it helps tune in oh, I don't know what they're trying to tell me. um they're just telling me for you to look up those meditations with binaural beats and solfeggio frequency. That's what they want me to say, frequencies. So if you look for oh gosh, they have so many where you can tap into your third eye, or you can tap into spirit more, or you can open up the heart chakra, the crown chakra, things like that. Do those meditations. You just put them on while you're eating your tacos, and you fall asleep with those binaural beats. Okay. Good thing is the moon only stays in a sign for maybe like up to 2 days. So that's what I have for you, Pisces. I'm sorry that was long-winded, but that Pisces energy is hard for me to decipher those symbols sometimes. But thank you for sticking with me. I hope you got some good messages until I see you again tomorrow. Okay, thanks. Bye.